whether a federal judge in Boston agrees in a closely watched case that could have far-reaching impacts.
Protecting women from radical gender ideologies.
The U.S. State Department adopted the policy in accordance with an executive order battling what it terms gender ideology extremism that Trump signed on his first day back in office. The order mandates that the federal government recognize only two sexes, male and female, defined as, quote, immutable biological classifications based on the type of reproductive cell that a fetus is meant to produce, quote, at conception.
Unfair.
Critics of the executive order have pointed out that sex differentiation doesn't occur until later in the fetal period, and that the order also doesn't acknowledge intersex people. Supporters of the order largely align with the Trump administration's desire to enshrine binary sexes. For Persian, who was assigned male at birth, it's an assault on her personhood.
Basically, right after I turned 18 is when I decided to openly transition and finally go for it. It hasn't been an easy journey, but it's been very fulfilling. This is America. We should have the freedom to be who we are.
The U.S. State Department declined to comment. The U.S. Department of Justice, which is defending the policy in court, did not respond to requests for comment.
No comment.
The administration has argued that the policy is vital to addressing concerns that indeterminate definitions of sex undermine long-standing cherished legal rights and values.
No comment!
As well, that says that my sex was corrected based on previous records.
Oh.
It's really just like a punch in the face after, all the work I've done and how much I've gone through already as a trans person just to feel normal in my body and everything. At first I wanted to cry. It was like a feeling of numbness, but that's exactly what they want me to do. They want us to be scared and to crumble back in fear. And yeah, there's that big ugly M. It definitely puts me in danger when it comes to traveling abroad. There's so many countries where it's illegal to be trans completely. So having this on my passport now makes my options limited.
Basically, countries that have guys like that interviewer that says, "Why are you gay? You are gay." Yeah. We're back at the office, baby. We're back at work. Haven't been to work in a while. You know what I'm saying? I was out sick or whatnot. Well, what should I say? Out lazy. But my boss don't need to know that. So, we're back at the station. See what's popping in the laws today. Glory to the Most High. John 3:36. What's going on? What's going on out there today? Shit, damn, who that is?
When Zaya Persian received her new passport in the mail with an incorrect gender marker, she claims she knew exactly who was responsible.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration.
First, the 22-year-old social media influencer immediately took to TikTok to express her frustration.
They changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump.
And then she sued, joining 6 other transgender and non-binary people in a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union,
what they look like,
who are arguing that the new U.S. State Department policy under Republican President Donald Trump is unconstitutional.
Just asking.
Persian spoke to Reuters with her ACLU lawyer present.
This is something that has been forced upon me, basically. And it's really unfair and kind of crazy, but that's why we're fighting it.
Now, they're waiting to see whether a federal judge in Boston agrees in a closely watched case that could have far-reaching impacts.
Protecting women from radical gender ideologies.
Who was that next to him?
The U.S. State Department adopted the policy in accordance with an executive order battling what it terms gender ideology extremism that Trump signed on his first day back in office. The order mandates that the federal government recognize only two sexes, male and female, defined as, quote, immutable biological classifications based on the type of reproductive cell that a fetus is meant to produce, quote, at conception.
Discrimination.
Critics of the executive order have pointed out that sex differentiation doesn't occur until later in the fetal period, and that the order also doesn't acknowledge intersex people. Supporters of the order largely align with the Trump administration's desire to enshrine binary sexes. For Persian, who was assigned male at birth, it's an assault on her personhood.
Basically, right after I turned 18 is when I decided to openly transition and finally go for it. It hasn't been an easy journey, but It's been very fulfilling. This is America. We should have the freedom to be who we are.
The U.S. State Department declined to comment. The U.S. Department of Justice, which is defending the policy in court, did not respond to requests for comment.
No comment.
The administration has argued that the policy is vital to addressing concerns that indeterminate definitions of sex undermine long-standing cherished legal rights and values. On January 23rd, Persian submitted an expedited application to update the sex designation on her passport to female, after having secured the change on other government documents like her driver's license.
Beta!
But by then, Trump was in office. Less than a week later, her passport was returned to her, with a notice stating that her sex was, quote, corrected on your passport application.
Corrected.
At the end of the day,
That's crazy.
I'm a woman, and I don't care how many people agree or disagree.
According to Sruthi Swaminathan, a staff attorney on the ACLU's LGBTQ and HIV project, the policy has nothing to do with correctness, but rather specifically targets transgender people.
This is an anti-transgender policy. There were no issues with the prior policy. This policy does nothing but create chaos and confusion and harm.
Lawyers for the plaintiffs say
Wow,
that
that's
the
so
policy reflects a reversal of decades of practice at the State Department, which for more than 30 years allowed people to update the sex designation on their passports.
This is not just about, showing an ID document. Like the government argues, your clients have passports. There's no harm here. That's not true at all. Not only is there an exposure to physical harm, harassment, discrimination, there's a dignitary harm to carrying a document that does not reflect who they are.
In 2022,
Really?
President Joe Biden's administration allowed people for the first time to choose X as a neutral sex marker on their passport applications, as well as being able to self-select M or F for male or female.
I finally am at a place where I feel like myself, and I feel comfortable and 100% secure in my body, which is something I've never felt before. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they never will.
Get a hug?
But life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and what I have pursued is
Just
happiness, and I'm happy. So I don't know why that makes people mad.
The Justice Department has argued that Trump has broad discretion to determine rules for issuing passports. But during a March 25th hearing, a U.S. district judge appeared skeptical of that argument and questioned how the policy could not be considered discriminatory, saying that gender identity is something worth recognizing.
Interesting. Oh, was that the end of that?
I'm a weatherman, and I support more students taking the ACT college admission test. Why?
I think that, that was the end of that video. Let's go to another one. Okay. Hold up. Hold on. Okay, I found another one right here. Let's see what this is about. I think this is a TikTok video that this person shared. Let's see.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male.
Zaya Persian,
Damn.
a trans social media influencer, says she tried to renew her U.S. passport with her updated gender marker before President Trump's executive order,
Whoa.
which defines sex strictly
that?
as male or female, based on biological traits at birth.
I've put in so much time and effort into my personal journey, and it should be my right after everything I've been through to have the gender that I am now reflected on my documentation.
Persian submitted her documents, which she says identified her as female, but when she received her passport days later,
Wrong.
her gender was marked male, the one she was
Correct.
assigned at birth.
It came with a letter as well that says that my sex was corrected based
Dang.
on previous records. It's really just like a punch in the face
No, that's a
after
DNA test.
all the work I've done and how much I've gone through already as a trans person just to feel normal in my body and everything. At first I wanted to cry. It was like a feeling of numbness, but that's exactly what they want me to do. They want us to be scared and to crumble back in fear.
Yeah, there's that big ugly M.
It definitely puts me in danger when it comes to traveling abroad. There's so many countries where it's illegal to be trans completely. So having this on my passport now makes my options limited of where I can travel.
A president in one of those other countries, they'd be like, why are you gay? I said they, by the way.
Because when you look at someone like me and then you see that they sent me a passport that says male, it's just like, girl, it doesn't make sense.
CNN reached out to the State Department for comment on Zaya's case, and a spokesperson said, "It is the policy of the United States to acknowledge only two sexes, male and female, and they are not changeable."
See, he's saluting on the
Persian
video.
says she is now being represented by the American Civil Liberties Union and is considering a lawsuit.
When you give a community of people the rights that they fought decades for, you can't just take that back and not expect a fight till the end. We've always been here, and we're damn sure not going anywhere anytime soon.
Pay attention to what that person just said. They've always been here. Not they as in humans, but whatever is within that vessel that taking it over to cause it to believe that. They've always been here before us. They are the powers and principalities of the heavenly places. And also the children of the Nephilim, or the Nephilim, who are the children of the fallen angels. They've always been here, yeah. Not always, but they've been here before us. So, yeah. Wait, what did I say? The woman asked for ID to use. Damn! That's a new one right there. I wonder what state that happened in. Sheesh. Well, man. This is... I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say about this. And it's the same person, because I noticed that they use the word fulfillment. The word fill is inside of that word, right? This is the same person that uses an item, an object, an instrument of some sort to fill their gaping wound, is what I would call it, so that it doesn't close up. And it was crying about it, and they called it some strange scientific word. I forgot what it was. Talking about vaginal diagnosis or some junk. You know, you probably saw the video before, man. Person said, "Oh, I'm suffering from vaginal something gnosis, stagnosis. I don't know the word." And I was like, "What? I don't think you are. You ain't suffering from anything that has the word vaginal in it, because you don't have one. I hate to break it to you, player. You don't have one of those. Not at all. You never will. You never will. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it honest, like Tory Lanez. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't. You just ain't gonna never have one of those, homie. You can't do it. You can't. It's impossible. It's mission impossible. A mission you cannot accomplish. Okay? Even with the help of the evil one. You know what I'm saying? Who's the adversary of us all, including the Most High. You still won't be able to do it. But I don't know. Maybe when they usher in the marks of the beast, it might give you one. Just like that. Let them know you got one down there. If that does happen, I wonder how many of people like this person would take the mark, just to have that chance of having a real twat. I wonder. I'm just saying. I don't know. I really don't know. It'd be ugly to see that. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'd be like, oh God, no. Oh God, no. I ain't right for that joke, but hey, I'm just keeping it honest, man. Hey, I'm just keeping it honest, man. Oh my goodness, dog. What y'all think about this joke here, man? Hey, I wish I could see some comments. I don't think I can see comments on this. No, No, on his website. Can I? Can I see comments? No? Yes? I don't. No. Nope. I don't think I see any comments. So I'm the only person that can comment right now. But in video form, unable to load video. Man, bring me back to the video I was at then. So, bring me back to the video I was. What the heck is that? What he look like? What's my man? Primetime number 99. That look like Primetime 99, kinda. No offense to, Primetime 99, because he don't roll that way. He don't swing that way, but damn. What the frick is that? Yeah, man, I remember this person, man, talking about, they were crying on freaking TikTok about having a member chopped and said, I don't regret it. I'm like, you don't regret it, but you're in tears. I don't regret it at all. I'm like, damn, stop trying to fight your nature, man. Be a man. Get your wife. Have you some children. But it's probably too late for that. If they got that post-op surgery. I'm not sure, though. I would hope they didn't go that far, but they probably did. They probably did. They probably did. I wouldn't be surprised. They probably did. By the end of this joint, I ain't trying to make it too long. I ain't gonna take this service too far. But this is a hell to the no moment. Rest in peace to Bishop Bullwinkle. But look, we got Jude 17 over here. Hit y'all with a disclaimer. Leave y'all with a verse or two like I always do. That's a little jingle right there that I put together for this part of the videos. And it says, in a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality and perversion. They serve as an example of those who suffer the punishment of eternal fire. Dang, Jude, you didn't have to do them like that. But he had to do them like that so they can get the message. You know what I'm saying? He had to tell them. He had to tell them. You know who told him first? Moses. But we got another verse right here. Leviticus 18:22. And it says, do not have sexual relations with as one does with that is detestable. That's what that is, okay? You understand? You understand? Hopefully you do by now. And then we have one more. We have Genesis 2:24. Like I was telling the homie, I said, be a man. Get yourself a wife. Have some children. Then you'll truly be happy. And then you won't have to worry about what's on your passport because you'll be living in truth, man. Because right now you're living in lies. You living a lie like Satan. He living a lie. He think he is king, but you ain't king. And you certainly are not the Most High. Not at all. See, right here, it says, that is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife. You know what I'm saying? And they become one flesh. So all the other stuff that you're trying to put into place, like gray areas between man and woman, it does not apply. Look at my eye. It does not apply. You've been lied to by the evil one, by that old serpent. I just wanted you to know, because you had to know. I'm just saying, man. But I pray for this guy, man. Pernell or whatever his name is. Peter. I forgot what his name is. But I pray for this guy. I pray for others like him. They say he had friends. I think one of the ones in the video, like the one that was walking next to him, I think that was one of his friends that they were talking about. Because that person did not look normal. Even his lawyer didn't look normal. Hair cut extra short. I know y'all saw that. You know, the woman with the bug eyes? You know? Hair was cut extra short. Like she trying to holler at another girl. Like, hey, baby. How you doing? Oh, no, baby. I'm all male. They're like, well, you don't look like it. Nah, baby. Nah, I'm all male. What's up? I'm all male. Leaning out the window a little bit. Trying to. They're like, well, males don't have breasts. Oh. No. I assure you. Wait. I assure you, I'm all male. Nope, too late. I heard that high-pitched voice. Goodbye. And she's like, well, forget you. Not all that cute anyways. Alright, let me stop. I'm about to be about this mom, man. Hey. Oh, I'm not too familiar with this website. Let me try something. It's a bunch of websites. Oh, and it worked. Hey, before I go to this one, I'm gonna show y'all this one. Hold up, man. What is it? You know, just in case this guy thinks that living the way he's living is the key to eternal bliss or something like that. It's not. There's only one way to eternal bliss or just eternal life in general. And only one way to the Most High. And it says here in John 14:6 that Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father, who is the Most High, except through me. That's that. But hey, homie can believe whatever he want to believe, man. He can believe in fairy tales. I know they may say, oh, you believe in fairy tale. I'm like, what sounds more like a fairy tale? Having a Most High God, who is the great and terrible God, that don't not play. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll be judged for every little thing that you say. Or a guy that, playing dress up. Which one seem like they believe? It's a make-believe. I don't think it's option A either. I'm just saying. That boy playing make-believe, man. I guess he got the lyrics wrong on that commercial. When the commercial be like, maybe it's make-believe. My man thought they said, maybe it's make-believe. And he went along with it. Man, look, we got John 3:36 right here, man. Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life. But whoever rejects the Son will not see life, which is heaven. For God's wrath remains on them. Man, I'm out, man. Shoot, left y'all with the truth. That's it. May peace be upon you all and blessings.